Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Mila, and if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button if you like this video. So I have been making YouTube videos for a few months now, and I have learned a thing or two about making thumbnails. I think thumbnails are really important because that's the first thing that your potential audience notices when they browse through YouTube. So you want to make sure that your thumbnail is good and that it really catches the eye of the viewer. And the thumbnail can really affect whether or not someone will click onto your video. So if you would like to know how to create good thumbnails using your phone or iPad, then keep on watching. So to start off with, I would suggest taking a photo for the purpose of making a thumbnail from the photo. If you just take a screenshot from your video, it's more likely that the photo and the thumbnail won't look as good as if you would just take a photo when you're like filming the video or something, so you get a better quality thumbnail. And also keep in mind that the thumbnail will be horizontal and not vertical. So this means that if you would like to have multiple photos in your thumbnail, like three next to each other, then you can use vertical photos. But if you just want to use one photo in your thumbnail, then you should just use like one horizontal photo instead of a vertical photo. So in this video I'll show you how I edited this thumbnail for my last video. I have a few different apps that I always like to use when I edit my thumbnails. First app is Adobe Lightroom, which I use to edit the photo itself. I usually turn up the contrast, make the photo brighter, and colors pop. Since I shoot photos in RAW, they do need some editing. For my thumbnails I don't do anything crazy, but I want the photo to be clear and good. For my travel videos I like to edit the blues to be more turquoise or teals, because I just like that teal orange look. Next I go into Canva to make my thumbnail the right size, and also if I want to make a thumbnail with more than one photo in it, I use Canva for that. So if you're not familiar with Canva, it's a free tool for quick graphic design and such, and I know a lot of people really enjoy using Canva for a lot of different purposes, so do I, but for the purpose of thumbnails I really like that Canva has the free YouTube thumbnail template, so you can just pop in the photo right in there. So you could definitely add the text to the thumbnails in Canva, but I like to use Phonto for that. So after I have my photo edited and the right size, I will use Phonto to add text. I have downloaded more fonts to my iPhone and iPad using iFont, and these are the fonts that I use for my thumbnails as well. I usually download fonts from the font, but if you do that, just make sure to search for 100% free to avoid any copyright claims if you want to use the fonts for commercial use or like anything else than just your personal use. I personally like to use bold capital letters to make my thumbnails pop, but this is obviously personal preference. However, I would suggest using a font that is easy to read and stick to just a few words, so don't add too much text in the thumbnail because it will be quite hard to read. Also, making the text large enough is important since a lot of people watch videos on their phones, and you want to make sure that the text is easy to read even if the thumbnail is like really small, if they're like watching from a really small screen. After adding my text in the desired font and size, I edit it and add some shadows and borders. I might also change the colors, but I have a few colors that I always stick to because I want to keep a cohesive look on my channel, which you might have noticed if you follow me here on YouTube. That is also why I stick to the same font in most of my thumbnails. You should try to avoid putting text in the right lower corner because that is where the timestamp will be. Sometimes I will also use Facetune to make the background more blurry, but apparently I didn't think that was necessary for this video. And honestly, I just often forget that I even have the Facetune app. So yeah, I don't think it's that necessary, but if the background is like really clear and visible and I want to give it that blurry effect, the Facetune app is great for that purpose. For this thumbnail, I wanted to add a YouTube play button, so I just searched on Google and check that I only use free images or images that are allowed to use for your own usage, or you know, just make sure you don't use anyone's photos without permission. So I have just downloaded some play buttons and other images from Google to see which one suits this video or this thumbnail the best, and that's what I'm adding here. But after I have added the text and like some desired other images, if that's what I want, then the thumbnail is done. So what should you keep in mind when you create thumbnails? So firstly, you want to use a good quality photo. Don't over edit the photo, but make sure it's clear and good. So you can turn up the brightness and the contrast a little bit and make sure the colors are nice and bright. But don't edit the photo too much if that's not like the look that you're going for. And stick to the thumbnail size, which is 1280 by 720. And make sure the text is easy to read even from a small screen by using bold fonts and by not adding too much text, so just adding a few words on your thumbnail. And avoid putting text in the place like the corner right here where the timestamp will be. So avoid putting text in the right lower corner. So guys, that was all for me today. I really hope you enjoyed this video and that this was helpful for you. And again, if you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more videos about creativity, traveling and this kind of stuff. I will see you in my next video. Bye!